To be honest with you, you can start off your business with an LLC. It's a lot of paperwork if you want to do it on your own. If you want to work with a lawyer, you're going to probably spend $1,000 plus, but you don't have to do that right away. Like once you make money and your business is validated, then you can go and do the LLC situation. So you want to start a product-based business or an e-commerce store. You may have heard all this potential passive income that you can make if you have your own product-based business. And while this video is not about any passive income type of situation, I do want to walk you through step-by-step how you can start your own product-based or e-commerce business with a very small budget of $500. So we're going to be coming out with a series where we have a few videos where we go through if you had $500 to start a product-based business, if you had $1,000 or maybe $2,000 up to $10K. So I'm in the process of launching my own dog poop bag business, and I'm more in that $10K budget. Like I'm going all in on this business and I'm buying a lot of inventory. And I'm doing things really differently than I did with my first product-based business, where I started that one for probably like $2,000. So I want to give you a few options of if you want to start a business, you have a vision for a product. I have a lot of videos on how to choose the right product and all that kind of stuff. But if you're wanting to know step by step, what do I spend money on if I don't have any money? This video is going to help you. So let's dive right into it. So the first thing that I would do if I had a $500 budget, and I'm going to give you the really scrappy approach here, and some of the things that I would suggest to you, you might not be able to do those things. You might have to do alternative things, but this is what I would do if I had $500 to start a product-based business. So the first thing that I would do is I would already, assuming that you already have your product in mind. So I'm going to skip over all that stuff. Again, I have other videos on how to choose the right product, how to choose a profitable product, that kind of thing. But if you're looking at, if you have their product in mind, you know what you want to sell, the first thing I'm going to spend money on, and I'm going to allocate $50 to this, is your logo and visual branding. So this is a really important part of starting a business, and it can be very expensive. So what I would do here is I would go to a place like Fiverr or Upwork. Again, you're going to get different results depending on which of these you use. I'm definitely a bigger fan of Upwork, but to be honest, Fiverr is really easy. You log into Fiverr, you say what you're looking for, you scroll through a bunch of people, and you can find what you need in the budget that you have. So I would allocate $50 to logo and visual branding. When I say visual branding, it is colors, your fonts, and that kind of thing. So I would go to Fiverr for this one. And you might not get anything that's very good. I'm just going to say that. So I go to Fiverr. You can also go to Upwork. And if you go to Fiverr, you just, again, type in logo, visual branding, etc. And you can literally look at what people charge. You can find someone and you can literally see their different options of what they would charge. Sometimes what you can do is if you find someone that you like, you can reach out to them and literally say, I have a $50 budget for a logo and visual branding. Are you able to help me? And just be upfront. And you can always say, hey, if we work well together, when I am ready to invest more money in branding or rebranding, we could definitely work together or something. People are always more willing to work with you at a lower price if they think there's going to be more business in the future. So you can always say that, if it goes well, definitely will come back to you. And I don't want to discount the Fiverr services. I've used Fiverr for a lot of things, including the logo for my first business, which was the Dapper Dog Box. I paid $20 and I got a really awesome logo. With that said, I already had a really strong idea of what I was looking for. So it was pretty easy for them to kind of bring that to life, but it is possible. So $50 is going to go to logo and visual branding, and I'm going to use either Fiverr or Upwork. If you want to use Upwork, generally you go in there and you can either post a job. So you can literally say, I'm looking for someone to help me with a logo, visual branding for this kind of business. And you literally give your budget, and then you'll get people that will apply for the job. So it's really cool, actually. And I think if you have a little bit more time, I would suggest Upwork because you're probably going to get better quality people, but $50 for logo and visual branding is pretty low. So you gotta do what you can with that money. The next thing that I would do, and these aren't in any particular order, okay? I have a list of things that I wrote out, but they're not in a particular order. The second thing that I'm going to spend money on is a Shopify theme and website. So for context, Shopify is my platform of choice for e-commerce, but most of the themes on there. So when I say theme, I mean a website theme. You sign up for them, you choose a website theme, and then you plug and play your own stuff. You say, you plug in your colors, your fonts, your logo, your products, your branding, all that kind of stuff. So there are a few free themes that you can choose from. They're not the best, and you will get way better structure, layout, etc., functionality, customization with a paid theme on Shopify. But if you only have $500, you can't afford a paid theme. So we're going to go with the free theme. I'm probably going to go with either like the Dawn theme or the Crave theme. Crave is kind of fun and kind of funky. Dawn is like super boring, super vanilla, blah, but it's kind of like Shopify's main free theme. So you can check those out, but totally free. So you can get started for free. Shopify generally will have either a 7 or 30-day trial. Sometimes they have like a $7 trial or a $1 trial for a month. They have all kinds of specials all the time. But Shopify is going to be about $30 a month. So I'm going to budget in, I believe, $0 for this exercise. So say you're going to launch quickly, $0 to $30. Okay. The next up is going to be things like business licenses. So I'm not going to go through step by step on this. I'm just going to give you an allocation of what approximately you might have to spend. So I'm going to give you business license, state and city, and DBA paperwork. So we're not going to jump into an LLC. We're going to start off with doing business as. It's way cheaper. And to be honest with you, you can start off your business with an LLC. It's a lot of paperwork if you want to do it on your own. If you want to work with a lawyer, you're going to probably spend $1,000 plus, but you don't have to do that right away. Like once you make money and your business is validated, then you can go and do the LLC situation. So I would start off with a DBA. So doing business as, you can file your business properly, but it's just a DBA. So doing business as, and then you would spend money on your state and city licenses. So those are required. You cannot sell things if you don't have a license. So make sure that you do those. I'm going to allocate about $150 to business licenses and the DBA paperwork. So again, we're going to do the bare bones here. If you need to get a reseller's license, then you might need to add more money to that. But depending on what you're wanting to sell, you're manufacturing things. Actually, you need to get a reseller license. Scratch that. So business licenses, and again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice, and I'm not giving you business license advice. Everything is different per state that you live in. Some states are really strict. I used to live in California. Starting a business in California, way more paperwork, way more things. You then start a business in somewhere like Texas, and they basically want nothing from you. So every state's different. It's your requirement to do your due diligence. Plenty of resources online that you can figure out quickly what kind of information and licenses and all that kind of stuff that you need. So we have $150 allocated towards business licenses and doing the DBA business paperwork. Okay, next up is going to be product samples and packaging. So I'm going to allocate $100 towards product samples and packaging. So say, for example, you're going to be starting a dog poop bag business. You're going to have to get some samples from, let's say you're ordering from overseas. They're going to charge you probably, even for a small product, $30, $40 for freight shipping cost to get samples of product. So this is where I'm going to allocate a little bit more money because you should get samples. I would never recommend that you that you start a product-based business and sell things to customers without testing the stuff out first. So we're going to allocate a little bit of money for samples and for packaging. So packaging, again, if your budget is $500, your packaging is going to be really simple. So if you're going to ship things out to customers, we are going to be using something really simple, like a poly mailer bag or a free box from like UPS or something. We're not going to be able to splash out for things like that. So I'm going to come back to product because I want to talk about product inventory at the end. But we will need packaging for the next thing we're going to have, which is samples. So one of the strategies that I would really have for any product-based business is you want to be sending out samples to people to either get content from them, to get like a UGC type of situation, so user-generated content, lifestyle photos of people using your product, or if you're wanting to send product to people, and then you can ask them if they're willing to share with their friends and family on the day that you launch. So again, you don't have a lot of budget here. You can't pay people, but you could just say, look, we're launching a business. We would love to send you something if you're willing to like snap a quick video for me. So something like that. And so you're going to need to ship things to them. So you're going to have to get some samples and you're going to have to ship to that person. So we're going to allocate $90 for sample products to be sent to 5 like micro, I don't want to use the word influencer, but that's sort of what they are, micro influencers. You want to get some content or UGC stuff. You want to get something that when you launch your business, you have a couple videos of people using it. So we're going to allocate $90 to that, but we're going to kind of go back to that product samples and packaging thing, which was $100. So we have $190 to get samples, some samples and packaging, and then we're going to ship that to 5 people. Plus you want to have a couple of your own to make your own videos. So $190 for basically influencer marketing, product samples, and simple packaging. And when I say simple packaging, I mean literally go to Amazon. So say you're doing dog poop bags. You literally go to Amazon and order the smallest amount of poly mailers that you could buy. So something super, super, super cheap. You can get like a bag of poly mailers for a couple dollars. That's the kind of packaging I'm talking about here. If your product is breakable or it's going to smush or something like that, then you need to get a box. Again, we're probably going to go to Amazon, and we're either going to go to the post office and get some free boxes, or we're going to go to Amazon and just look at what are the lowest or smallest amount of boxes I can buy from them, and we're going to buy those. So pretty cheap because they're going to be plain. And then of course with shipping, you have to buy labels and things like that. I would be using Pirate Ship, and I'd be using USPS to send anything out. Pirate Ship has one of the best rates for USPS. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get a couple of product photos. This is one of the most important things, and if I had any extra budget here, I would budget more money for product photos, but we only have $500. Like, we got to be scrappy as hell. And we got to be really creative. So what I want to do is once I have my sample product, I want to ship the sample product to Soona. So Soona. Soona is a really cool platform where you can basically send your product to and you can order product photos. They have really cool backgrounds. They have really cool props that they can do. They have colored backgrounds. You can even upgrade and have like dogs and people in your photos. It's really cool. So you want to get a couple solid product photos. So either it's like a simple background or a colored background, something that's really, really, really good quality. And we're going to order 2 photos at $39 each. So $39 times 2, we're going to get 2 really cool product photos from Soona. Say, for example, you have leftover budget from your samples or from the micro influencers, and you can order possibly 1 more photo from them. Next up is going to be products for our inventory. So this is going to surprise you, but what we're going to use to sell when we launch our business. And guess what? We're not going to buy any inventory. We're going to do pre-selling. So we're going to make our website live. We're going to go into Shopify and indicate that we're able, there's a little button that you can click on, and it basically says like how much inventory you have, or you can say sell with 0 inventory, and you can click a little button. It depends on the theme that you have. So if you don't have that button, you want to just tweak the inventory amount. So you would say like, we have 20,000 inventory. and you actually don't have any inventory. It allows you to still sell if you actually don't have inventory. So what you want to do is you actually want to start selling with no inventory. There's some caveats here. So what you're doing here is you're validating your idea. You're basically saying, hey guys, we have a product, we're doing a pre-sale. If you order today, we'll be shipping product out in a month or 60 days or something like that. You want to be very specific with the time frame. So understanding with your manufacturer that you're working with, how long, what's a turnaround time? If we get 1,000 orders for product, what's the turnaround time for you to produce those, that kind of thing. So you have to understand that. For example, with the manufacturer I'm working with for the dog poop bag company, once I place an order with them, I have to pay 30% down, and then it's she said 25 to 30 days for production. So it'll take 30 days to create the product, and then they have to ship it to me. So that would be about a week. So it's probably about 5 to 6 weeks before I'd be able to actually send people products. So you have to be really clear with that. You have to tell people we're doing a pre-order, we're doing a pre-sale, and that's okay. People are used to that nowadays, and they understand, especially for a new business, they don't actually think about, oh, she's probably validating her business idea. They just think, oh, okay, she's doing a pre-order. Like, it's very normal now. So this is what you have to kind of do if you don't have inventory. And if your product is not super cheap, then you probably can't afford inventory if your whole business budget to start and launch is $500. So I would recommend no inventory and you pre-sell. So if you give people a deadline, we're doing a pre-order for the next few weeks. If you order during this time, we're able to get your product out at this time, and you could even give them some kind of a discount or an incentive to order from you. So that pretty much is your business right there. So if we're being really scrappy, we want to start a business for $500. So let's do a recap here. $50 for logo and branding. We're going to use something like Fiverr or Upwork. We're going to choose a Shopify theme, which is $0, but we're going to have to pay $30 a month ongoing for the Shopify platform. So that's $30. And again, if it's taking you 2 months to launch, that's $60. So I'm just going to guesstimate that we're going to do this in a month, which is very, very quick, but it's totally doable. Next up is going to be your business licensing and your DBA paperwork, doing business as. That's going to be approximately $150. But this is totally going to depend on the state that you live in, because every state has different requirements and licenses, and it's your due diligence to know what those are. I'm not giving you any legal advice. Number 4 is going to be product samples and packaging. So again, we need some samples. We need something that we can use to take video content with, that we can test out the product, make sure it's good enough for people. And then we're going to be ordering small amount of packaging. So if you have a small product, we're going to probably be going to Amazon to buy a small amount of poly mailers. Also, quick tip, if you're ordering samples from overseas, you could ask your manufacturer, hey, can I buy a small amount of packaging from you? If it's poly mailer bags, padded mailers, small boxes that are flat, like laid flat out, you could ask them, can I purchase these from you? And what's the cost? So if it's cheap, I would just go with that. Otherwise, you can go with something like Amazon, or even, I almost just said U-Haul, Uline. Uline, you might be able to get some small amount of packaging from them. But to be honest with you, it's probably cheaper just to go to Amazon. I literally used to go to Staples and just get a pack of poly mailers or padded mailers or small boxes from a Staples. Next up, we're going to be ordering a couple of product photos from Soona, Soona, and that's going to be about $39 each. I also forgot one step here. We want to have some lifestyle photos for the website. So lifestyle photos. So for example, if I'm selling dog poop bags, I could grab a lifestyle photo from a website called Pexels for free, Pexels, and I could maybe type into Pexels, girl walking dog or something. And then Pexels will give me a bunch of images of people walking their dog. And I could use those on my website, and they're totally free to use. You're able to use those on a website. So I'd be using some of those for my lifestyle images from Pexels for free. And the next up is the 5 product and samples to send to micro influencers for UGC. You could ask them to post for you. You could just get content from them. And again, a lot of people are going to say no to you. So you have to sort of figure out who are the right people that could take really good photos or video clips for you and be willing to share with their audiences. And sometimes that's going to just come down to our friends and family. Who are 5 of my friends who have, like maybe they're active on social media, maybe they have a TikTok account and they're willing to post for me. I would do that over trying to find some influencer who's going to try to charge you a bunch of money. Like with $500 budget, we can't pay anyone. We can just do it from like, do me a favor and post for me, We're going to be spending $0 in inventory because we're going to do a pre-order. And then once people are buying our stuff and we have a date in mind, like we're doing a pre-order for 1 month or a pre-order for 2 weeks, if people are buying your stuff, that gives you validation that people want what you have, and then you can place your order with the manufacturer. And then and that's it. So $500 budget to start a business. It's very scrappy and not a lot of money, but it's totally doable. As you can see here, if you look at all these things, we're being scrappy, but we're being really creative with how we're spending money, and we're doing things that are bare bones, bare budget, validating our business idea. And then once you actually are getting money coming in, then you can do better things. You can spend money with a proper branding agency. You could buy a Shopify theme for $300 and redo your website. You could get really awesome product photos with a local photographer. So there are ways that you can splash out once you're making money. But the point of this video is that I always want people to feel empowered and educated, that they don't need a ton of money to start a product-based business. You need some money, okay? But as you can see here, you can get really, really, really scrappy and creative and launch something with ease. So I hope you like this video. Be sure to subscribe and tap that subscribe and like button below. And if you're looking to start your own Shopify business, I have a really cool toolkit below for $57 that walks you through how to start and launch a Shopify store. And it's amazing. You can grab it below. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much.